So greetings and welcome to my final Ocala National Forest trophy buck hunt. Anyway, I wanted to address a comment from the last video. Feller said that he had trouble finding a tree to put his climbing stand on. Most of them are too small and the terrain is too thick to hunt. And I concur that 95% of the trees that are in the big scrub are not suitable for climbing stands. But it's the 5% that's left that I focus in on. And I find those trees in and amongst younger trees. And the one I'm in is a prime example. Now, I've been hunting this spot here in the Hopkins Prairie unit. This is probably my 8th to 10th hunt in here. And I'm going to show you the area here real quick. Look at that spot over there, man. It's beautiful. I can see clear across that thing. This morning, I took my deer buggy. Now, there's an oak patch, an oak thicket, and there are several what I would call big tracks that I see on a regular basis running up and down the perimeter of this thing. And I'm convinced that those deer are using that at night. Yeah, it's just the way it is, right? But when I hunt a spot like this, I'm hunting it in the hopes of a doe coming in heat and pulling one of those bucks out of there. You never know when that's going to happen. It can happen anytime. You need to be able to see, right, in order to have a decent hunt. And this habitat over here, what you can see is limited. And this habitat over here is user-friendly. So you've got to be able to find these spots. Now, in my own defense, I spend a lot of time looking for access. And then once I find access, I then search within that area for suitable places to hunt and then look for sign after that. I know that there are maybe 2 or 3 shooter bucks in that oak patch right now. I walked around the other side of it this morning hoping to expand my knowledge of the area and opportunity. In other words, find more trees I can get set up on. I did not find. I hunted that. I walked out that whole area. I wasted or invested, depending on how you look at it, 2 hours time this morning here on my final hunt, because I had conjured up in my mind, right, that there were rubs and scrapes over there that no one was hunting. And boy, ain't nobody been over there. The reason nobody's been over there is because, yeah, it's such a hard place to hunt. It's all along the edge of that perimeter. I saw good tracks. Now I got a hard road right over here. And I walked up down the edge, and then there's the scrub oak patch is formerly a chop that got logged, and we're going to say it was 5 years ago, 6 years ago. And it gets real close to the road up here, and there's a deer trail that runs along the edge of the road, comes out all the way through here, and I discovered this morning that comes from down over there close to the road. So the deer are not getting in the road, they're running horizontally to it. And then that deer trail comes all the way around through here. And there's a very obvious deer trail 40 yards right there from me that I'm watching. And then I'm watching this as well. But I've hunted this 4 or 5 times before I actually made that discovery. I hunted the edge there a little bit, and every time I got down, I kind of expanded my search, trying to find different places. But if you hunt in the big scrub, that is this habitat, the pine trees that are small, the oak, scrub oak that's like a Brillo pad, it's going to be hard to find a good setup. And once you do find a good setup, it might only be good for a few years before, one, they come and log it, or two, it just gets so overgrown, right? This may not be here in 3 or 4 years. It might just grow right on up and you won't be able to hunt it anymore. But what I do when I find a suitable spot, I mark it on my GPS. Right? I can go to my GPS right here, right now, and I can turn it on. Okay? I'll turn that thing on, and then once it comes up, I'm going to be able to see all of my stand locations from where I am right now. And I can find all of them. So here they are. See it? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trees that are within 3 miles of my location here. I got one that's 256 feet away. I've got one that's 443 feet away. I've got one that's 0.12 tenths of a mile, then 1/4 of a mile, then 3/4 of a mile, and then the last one is 3 miles, almost 4 miles away. So, yeah, I've got them all on my GPS. I've had this GPS forever. And I just keep saving them and saving them and saving them. Because that information becomes valuable now. When you come up here and you go hunting, you've got to have a backup plan. If you get up here and someone's in your spot, or you can't hunt it for one reason or another. When I got here this morning, there was like 10 or 15 trucks on the road right here. And they're all dog hunting. They're dog hunting that section across the road here. And I'm on the perimeter of the dog hunt area. This is still hunt here, but that's dog hunt over there. And they kind of bleed off into here every now and then, but not too much. But you can find these big trees. You can find these big trees, and this one's straight as an arrow. I would not get in a tree that was leaning. I would not get in a tree that was too small. But you got to find the big trees in amongst the small trees. They're here. And you have to invest yourself. Now, that fellow that made the comment that he couldn't find a decent tree also indicated he'd only been twice. Twice. I love you, brother, but you're going to have to go more than 2 times. You're going to have to go 2 times a week in order to get yourself to the place to where you become familiar with the area that you're hunting. And if you're still hunting in the pipeline unit, you're hunting in the dog hunt area, which is fine. I might do it next year. But I prefer to hunt in the Hopkins Prairie. Now, if you hunt in flatwoods, if you find flatwoods like at Grassy Prairie, you'll find longleaf pines. And there will be multiple places for you to set up. Sounds like to me that your only issue is finding access and gaining some knowledge, just getting out there, finding spots, and then search for sign within those spots, okay? So, yeah, I've been doing this for years and years and years. I've not killed me a buck up here, though, in a couple of years. I saw one last year that I could have shot, was going to shoot him, and couldn't get on him. And the opportunity slipped away. I saw a 5-pointer 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. And hung around my stand, and I will not shoot a deer with puppy dog eyes. I'm not going to shoot a little. I don't want a 90-pound buck. I want a 190-pound buck. Okay, I want that all impressive, that awe inspiring. When somebody looks at that rack, they say, "Dang, man, where'd you get that deer?" Ocala National Forest. He's in there. I promise you, he's in there. Somebody said, you should be running trail cameras. That robs me of the mystery of what I'm dealing with. I lay up at night thinking about the tracks that I see, and I see big mamma jamma tracks. And I let my mind wander. And I dream about what that buck looks like. I don't want to know what it looks like. I want to see him for the first time through my scope. That's what I want to do. So, yeah, I spent 2 hours this morning thinking that I would find deer hunting utopia on the other side, and there was nothing but an empty hole. I about killed myself coming over there, dragging my deer buggy with my deer stand on my backpack all the way up there, and there's nothing up there. There's no people, there's no roads, there's nothing. It's just emptiness, and you can't see 2 feet in front of you. So I turned around and I came all the way back, and it was almost 10:15 before I got in this stand here. I just tell myself that's okay, my buck's coming by at 10:30. But he ain't got up yet. He's still sitting in that oak patch right over there. You're gonna make it another year. Unless, before I leave here, that doe jumps up. Catch me if you can, and they come running by me. Kind of feel like that's what it's come down to. That's okay, I'd take it. But what I really wouldn't want is for have a deer come screaming through this thing with a big old rack on him that I couldn't shoot because he was running too fast. After all this. That's the way it goes. Alright, so we love you guys. I'm going down to the Green Swamp, and I'm gonna hunt that with all my heart, soul, and mind. I'm gonna give it all I got. I'm gonna go down there where the water's deep and the moccasins are thick. I have not seen a black bear this year, except though I did see one run across the road. Have you seen any black bears this year in the Ocala? I only saw one last year too. I see more black bears in my neighborhood than I do when I'm hunting. Something strange about that. So, all right. I guess I've worn out my welcome. Don't forget, we got the turkey extravaganza February 1st at the True Heart Ranch in Webster, Florida. Bleep-blop it on your bebopping smartphone. It's the True Heart Ranch in Webster, Florida. That's Sumter County. And we're going to have a great time. It's free parking, free admission. You meet with some of the top-notch turkey call makers and turkey callers there are in the area. Learn how to turkey hunt. I'll be there. I'll be selling copies of my book, Wild Treasures of an Outdoorsman. Come on by, say hello. Usually they have me right there at the front door. I'm kind of like the greeter. I like it. It's fun. All right, we'll talk to you guys soon. Love you. Bye.